Hello again. There's no doubt that having the word great in the name of this country has proved pretty handy in the past. All well and good for Donald Trump to talk about making America great again, but this slogan plays so much better here where we live in a country actually called Great Britain. This has of course been used many times as a catchy double meaning. One remembers that Keir Starmer has recently launched a strategy called Great British Energy. And in popular culture, we have television programmes such as the Great British Bake Off. Make Britain Great Again is a slogan based on the same idea. I'm afraid there are two things in politics which always make me slightly uneasy and cause me to raise my eyebrows. One of these is slogans which sound very forceful and direct, but essentially tell us nothing at all. Forward with the people, for example, sounds very straightforward and clear, but tells us nothing about what is planned. Make Britain Great Again falls, for me at least, into the same general category. Despite the fact that it will soon be appearing on countless posters, badges, t-shirts and baseball caps, I honestly don't know what it means. The second thing which I've always found slightly suspect is the cult of personality. This is when a political movement becomes wholly identified with the man leading it. One thinks of Stalinist Russia, for instance, or Nazi Germany. In Argentina, one has Juan Perón, and of course his wife Evita. Peronism was a thing in the 1940s, and curiously enough, a similar slogan to make Britain great again was also current, in that Perón talked of the new great Argentina. Historically in this country, and of course also in the United States, it is parties which matter rather than this or that man who happens to be leading them at any time. We remember prime ministers such as Churchill and Disraeli, but it's the Conservative Party which is the important thing. It's not bound up with one person's ideas and beliefs. The party can exist without the person. So that when Rishi Sunak is ousted and becomes part of history, the Conservative Party will still exist, just as it did after Disraeli died. In the case of smaller parties such as UKIP and Reform, those groups are associated indelibly with one man's face and name. Mention UKIP or Reform, and as if by a Pavlovian response, the face of Nigel Farage appears in our thoughts. Historically, this kind of thing has not ended well. For one thing, unless a political party is an independent entity held together by certain principles and ideals, then the death of the leader will bring an immediate end to the thing. One can hardly imagine the German National Socialist Party surviving the death of its founder in 1945. And in China, Maoism certainly came to an end with the death of Mao Zedong. Despite the fact that he was leading the Reform Party until yesterday afternoon, few of us can bring to mind the image of Richard Tice. It's a different story though, once Nigel Farage took over. Now we're on familiar territory again. Brexit? Nigel Farage's face is once again summoned up. There is without doubt a cult of personality around this man, and it may well be that this isn't a bad thing. I'm only expressing a personal prejudice here, or personal point of view. My own reservations about this kind of situation may be quite unfounded. But it is as well to be aware of what is happening, and to realise that if Reform gets anywhere in the general election, then it will be less on the merits of its policies and more on the personality of its leader. Because now that Nigel Farage is in the driving seat, Reform is Nigel Farage.